person to our community. And her name is Pastor Chamie. She is here and she is leading the church. So you know we're sitting in this beautiful sanctuary, and the sanctuary houses a community of faith, and they meet here on Sundays and sometimes other times during the week. And Pastor Chamie is their leader, so she's going to tell you a little bit more about herself. But if you could all give her a warm Wesley welcome, that would be great.
Good morning. Okay, I am so excited to finally get to meet you. I really want to get to know all of your names. So again, I'm Pastor Chamie. It's like Jamie with a Chuck. Pastor Chamie. And there's certain titles that people have, like Dr. Gallus, or you might call your teachers Mr. or Mrs. So Pastor Chamie, Pastor is my title, and just like the very first time you gathered in here for community, and Dr. Gallus shared that there are different sacred spaces, that this is a church, sanctuary, that there's mosques and there's temples, that there's places in nature that are sacred. Also, leaders of different religions have different names they go by. For example, if you're Muslim, the leader is an imam. And if you're Jewish, the leader is a rabbi. So in a Christian church, the leader is a pastor. And there are a couple people from the church that I'm just going to have them wave really quickly because you'll sometimes see their faces. One of them is Mrs. Pete. She's wearing blue and white stripes. And she is in the office, so you'll see her. And the other is Mr. Ellis, and he's in a black shirt back there. And he helps with all the sound, so you can wave at him. And there's several other people you will meet. Now, for 13 years before I started as the pastor here, I was at another campus that had a church and a school together. So I was a part of a TK through 8th grade school, and I loved it. And I gotta tell you, when I first got here in July and you all weren't here, I was feeling kind of sad because it was really hard for me to say goodbye to my old school because I loved all the students. So on the first Tuesday after Labor Day, when you came back, I actually woke up in the morning and I was just giddy because I thought, oh my goodness, finally there's going to be all this life on the campus. Now, kindergarten, if you're kindergarten, raise your hand up like this. Okay. This is what I know to be true about kindergartners. I learned this from my old school. Kindergartners oftentimes have the wisest answers about life. Okay, I know that to be true. Now, if you're wondering exactly what a pastor does, we take care of a church, but a kindergartner gave one of the favorite answers I ever heard to what a pastor does. So at my old school, there were 2 kindergartners, and they were outside in the school garden, because I would oversee the school garden. And one kindergartner said to the other kindergartner, "What does a pastor do?" And the other kindergartner, without even hesitating, said, "They love people." And I absolutely loved that. And in a church, we have this person, Jesus, that we follow, and Jesus says, well, there's 2 rules. You're supposed to love God and love other people like you would love yourself. And I just love that the kindergartners knew that my job was to love others. So as I am on this campus, one of my jobs is to love Wesley School. And I will tell you that I already love Wesley School. I have a Wesley t-shirt. I drank tea this morning out of a Wesley mug. And this is a really, really cool thing. You all, this year, are celebrating your 25th year as a school. And I am celebrating my 25th year as a pastor. So I just think it was meant to be that I was here at Wesley, and so when I see you on campus, now you know my name, and please let me know your name, because I really do want to get to know all 298 names, something, however many you are. We're going to work on that. Now, today we're talking about peace, but love and peace go together. So, when I point to this side, I want you to say more love. Okay, so I point to you, you say more love. Let's try it. More love. Now this side, if I point to you, your words are more peace. Okay, let's try this. More peace. All right, so let's go. Ready? More love. Equals. More peace. More love. Equals. More peace. More love. Equals. More peace. So we want to grow in love and peace on this campus, and a peace pole is a reminder of that, and Mr. Elbow is going to share a little bit about the peace pole, and we're going to go outside after he shares.
That's right, good morning. So for those of you who don't know me again, my name is Mr. Elbow and I work in the development office. Did you know that this week the entire world is celebrating the International Day of Peace on Thursday, September 21st? And in honor of that day, we're talking about a little bit about peace today. So I'm here to share with you guys a little bit of fun facts about peace and Peace Day. Each year, the International Day of Peace is observed around the world on September 21st. The United Nations General Assembly has declared this day as a day to strengthening the ideals of peace among all nations. The observation was established in 1981, and the first International Day of Peace was observed in 1982, a long time ago. This year's theme is Actions for Peace. It is a call to action that recognizes our individual and collective responsibility to foster peace. But what exactly is peace? For some, peace means problem solving instead of fighting. For others, peace is a state of being where your mind and heart is free of stress or worry. It's kind of like Hakuna Matata. You guys have heard of Hakuna Matata, right? Right? It's a wonderful phrase, right? Hakuna Matata. You gotta finish it. Ain't no past phrase. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a tropical philosophy. You guys know it. See, you guys know a little bit more about peace than you guys think. But what I do want you to know is that peace can actually start with you. And by practicing one peaceful act at a time, we can all contribute to peace in the world. Pastor Chamie mentioned our peace pole, our beautiful peace pole outside. These are international recognized symbols of hopes and dreams of the entire human family for peace on earth. Peace poles are meant to unite different people from different cultures, faiths, and ideals in order to celebrate humanity and manifest peace on earth. So every year since 2011, the Wesley School and the church has honored this day by adding 2 new words of peace onto these peace poles. Peace poles are really cool. They can be found all over the world, actually. Some are found by the Giza pyramids, the Pentagon, and obviously we have 2 here on our campus. One outside this sanctuary and one outside in the front, like one time ago. So we've selected 2 new words of peace in 2 different languages. The first one being the word Sam. Can you guys say Sam? Sam. It actually looks like the word Sama. That's how it's spelled, but it's actually pronounced Sam. It is from a language called Sinhala, which is a language that is from a country in Sri Lanka, which is a country in Asia, actually, a very small country over there. The reason why we chose this language is because coincidentally, we're celebrating our 25th birthday, and our theme is celebration. Sri Lanka actually has the 4th most holidays celebrated in the world, and they have 25 public holidays that they celebrate. So they're a country that actually knows how to celebrate, so that's just kind of a cool fact. The second language we chose is the Hawaiian language, and the word for peace in the Hawaiian language is Maluhia. Can you guys say Maluhia? Maluhia. And Maluhia means peace, and we chose that because in light of recent events, it just felt fitting to honor and manifest peace on a place that is very much in need of it. So, that's that, and I believe at this time, Pastor Chamie,
as we go outside, we're going to hang those words on the peace pole, and as we go outside, I'm going to invite you just to whisper and go as peacefully as we can. So, those who are in the front rows will follow your teacher. teachers and stay with your buddies just a moment. And you can go out this door. If you're in the middle, you can go out my office door. That's my office there. So in the middle, you'll just walk right out there and go. I invite all of you as you gather out here to take 3 breaths and just imagine peace all around you. Just breathe in peace. Now, we're going to put our words up on this peace pole, and maybe sometime in the next week, as you come to school or leave school, remember to take note. Just glance over here and remember that we are called to be peacemakers. And so I'm going to have Mr. Elbow introduce who is putting up our peace words.
Hi, everyone. So Mr. Roan, come on over. He's going to hold the word Sam, which is the word for peace in Sinhala once again, and he's going to find a spot on the peace pole, I believe on this side over here, to place it. That's perfect, Rowan. Thank you very much, Rowan. And for our second word, Maluhia, Chamie, Miss Chamie. There we go. And she's putting up the word Maluhia. Thank you, Chamie. And for our closing remarks, Pastor Chamie.
I'm going to read just a couple pages from this book called Peace Begins with You. Caring about problems in the world and even problems of your own doesn't mean you can't feel peace anymore. There is a special kind of peace that lives inside of you. Some people can feel this peace even when they are in pain or fear or danger. Many different philosophies and religious faiths teach about this inside peace and also about making peace in the world. Peace is not just a gap between times of fighting or a space where nothing is happening. Peace is something that lives, grows, spreads, and needs to be looked after. So how can you be a peacemaker? You can learn about what's happening in the world all around you. You can learn about different ways of living and thinking. You can learn about yourself, about why you think and believe and feel and act as you do. And you can learn how to listen and how to see things from another point of view. You can learn how to solve problems peacefully in your own life because peace begins with you right here, right now. So repeat these words after me. Peace begins with me.
Peace begins with me.
And may you have a day full of peace. Goodbye, Wesley. Thank you.